Hey you guys, it's Jessica. My username is Jessicakes and this is my husband Dan. We are here to do the husband tag video. Mitchell in Minnesota tagged me to do it, so I asked Dan if he would do it with me, and I don't think he's super excited about it. But he's a supportive and loving husband. So I guess I'm just going to ask him the questions, and then he will answer them. Do you want to say anything before we start?
I'm ready.
He's ready. Okay. We have actually done a video before a long time ago, and I'm not sure if he even remembers, but if you go back on my page, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, there's a cute boyfriend-girlfriend tag that he did with me, and we were drinking vodka and watermelon juice, so maybe he was a little bit more loosened up for that video. So we'll see about this one. Okay, number 1 is, how did we meet?
We met online.
Yeah. We were on a dating website. And who messaged first?
Who messaged first?
Yeah. That's my question.
Oh, I don't remember.
I messaged him first, and then I said,
Oh,
I like
so
your...
something about a dimple.
Yeah. Dimple. I said, I like your dimple, and then we started talking, and then he was like, oh, well, I've seen you on here before, but I never messaged you. And I was like, well, good thing I did. Okay, so number 2, who was interested first?
You were.
I think we both were.
We both were. You just messaged me first.
Yeah. We met probably a month, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks after we started talking. We met in person, and it went really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long have we been together?
Since the beginning of 2012.
Yeah. We went on our first date
In November of 2011.
Yeah, and then I was like, I don't want a boyfriend-girlfriend status, until one day I did want it, and then he was like, okay. What attracted you to each other? Do you want me to go first? Do you want me?
You had a really big smile. And you're fun to talk to and kind of aggressive when it comes to chatting.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
That was probably because I was nervous. I, on our first date, I was, kind of just wanting to, keep things casual. And then when we were talking, he was talking a lot about his family and his work and all of the things he's done in the past. And, it was a very, much deeper conversation than I was used to for a first date. And he was talking about how much he respects his parents and all of that. And I was like, oh, shoot. Well, now I really like him. And he's, different than, it was so different than dating other people. So that was, when I was really first, attracted to him. And he has these beautiful blue eyes and his dimple. That was what really got me. It's his profile picture. He was wearing this little hat. He had this little little dimple. It's very cute. Number 6. What do you think the biggest differences are between us?
Maybe the biggest difference is that you're kind of a night person and I'm a morning person. So I like to get up and go do stuff, and you like to do that at night.
Yeah.
I like to do it in the morning when it's
bright
and crisp.
I think too, like in the beginning, like I've always valued my like resting time. Like I like to be relaxed a lot, and he's like more of like a doer. So and Mitchell in Minnesota, and his husband, super cute video, by the way. You guys were talking about how, like, one of you is more logical than the other one, and one is more emotional. And I think, like, with Dan and I, we're both emotional, sensitive people, but he's much more, like, grounded than I am. And I'm kind of, like, up in the air, like, all over the place sometimes. And in my wedding vows to Dan, I even said, like, you keep me grounded when sometimes I'm, like, so far in the clouds. But I think it's, like we meet in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't want to be stuck on the ground all the time, either. You know? Number 7. How did you feel about surgery at first? How do you feel about it now? So just to give a little background, I had lap band surgery not soon after I met him. I had it in August of 2012. So we had been dating for maybe like 6 months at that point. So he's been there for me through both of my surgeries. And then I just had the lap band to VSG surgery this past August in 2018. So that's kind of my background. So the question was, how did you feel about surgery at first, and how do you feel about it now? So maybe both times, how, if you remember back then.
I think both times I was nervous, but I mean, it was something that you wanted to do, so I just
went with it. How did you feel about, like,
but you had been in the hospital actually 3 times.
Yeah.
For big things.
How did you feel about, like, seeing me, like, having, like, complications with the lap band?
Oh, it was ready to just get it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Dan has always been, like, super supportive sorry, our cat is acting crazy. Of anything I've ever wanted to do. So there was a time where I wanted to take a trip to Peru, and I remember, like, talking to him about it, not like to say that I needed his permission at the time, but you know, I care about what he thinks, and I remember him saying, like, I'm never going to hold you back from, now I'm gonna crying, don't cry. He just said, like, I'm never going to hold you back from decisions you make and what you want to do. So I really appreciate that about him. But as far as the surgery, I think, like, the lap band was so bad that, like, we were both ready to not deal with it anymore. Mm-hmm. We both have colds.
You already described number 8.
Oh, can you briefly describe the surgery? But, like, what is it? Like, what does it do for me?
You get full quicker, and you kind of have smaller portions. Mm-hmm. But with this new one, you don't have any of the issues. It doesn't seem like that you had with the lap band.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't like run to the bathroom and throw up every time I eat. Right. Unless it's like a pregnancy thing. What's the name of the surgery I got?
You don't know what the name is?
I'm asking you. This is your question.
Oh.
What was the old one I had?
The original one was the lap band.
Mm-hmm.
This one's the sleeve. Mm-hmm. Sleeve.
Vertical sleeve gastrectomy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any difference between us since I've lost weight? Really haven't lost that much weight. I've lost 50 pounds.
Any differences between us since you lost weight?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Do you think
You're
there
still
was...
short.
I know. I am short. Do you think there was a difference when I had gained a lot of the weight back that I had lost initially?
Yeah, I think you were depressed.
Yeah. It was harder for me to do a lot of things. And, like, it's interesting because through this whole time, you know, we were dating, we got married, we had our first baby, now we're pregnant with I'm pregnant with our second, and, like, I think a lot of the weight gain, too, like, it just a lot has been going on, so a lot of, like, it's hard to tell, like, with how I act and how I do my everyday things, like, if it was truly just because of me gaining weight or if it's because of other factors, like, because there's been so many changes in our life, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think this pregnancy, so my last pregnancy, I'm like 40 pounds less this time around. Do you think that this pregnancy is different than the last one?
Yeah, I don't know that we always realize that you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I think you are now recently. But I think both of us, the time has just gone by so much quicker.
Mm-hmm. I feel a lot better. Mm-hmm. Do you have any concerns about our relationship going forward?
No.
Me either. Is there anything you're looking forward to when I get to goal weight?
I haven't thought of that.
I don't know if I've even thought of that. I try not to think about, like, oh, my life at 130 pounds is going to be so much different than my life at 190 pounds. Like, I'd like to think I'm just, I might feel better and, like, but I try not to let, like, my weight now hold me back from things. But I think it does sometimes. Like, when I was 240 pounds, it definitely held me back from a lot of things. Or I had to push myself to do things a lot more. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing... I look forward to everything in our future.
Me too.
Yeah. What do you think about how I have to eat?
What do I think about how you have to eat? Was that your nose making the creaking noise?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't really affect too much. Well, for me anyways, it probably does for you, but I mean...
Yeah.
I don't think of it too much. And I did the keto stuff with you for a while, and I'll probably go do it again for a little bit of time again. Yeah. So I don't really...
It's a little different because I'm splurging a lot more than I probably would have if I wasn't pregnant. It would have been a lot more like But I don't think I ever want to get to the point where it's like food is like controlling my life and I become obsessive over it either.
Right.
Yeah. So, number 14. Do you think I'm committed to a healthier life? Why or why not?
Yeah, I do think that you are. You're goal oriented and you plan things and you have everything written out. It's always on the fridge. What's gonna happen, and I think that kind of keeps you going. It's a commitment. Just doing that regularly, because I don't know that many people would.
Yeah. I don't think I'm like, I think like I just said that on the last question, but I'm not like super like, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I'm never gonna eat this again type of person. But I think that I'm making healthier choices like every day, and like try it, you always just have to keep trying, because when you give up, that's when there's a problem. What are your thoughts on when people comment that I have to feel better since losing weight? It's a weird question.
What are my thoughts?
Yeah. So if someone was like, "Oh, you must feel so much better," if someone said that to me.
Oh, my thoughts probably aren't very nice. So I'm usually kind of blunt when telling people to mind it.
Yeah. I don't tell a lot of people about the surgery.
Yeah.
And
I get a little too defensive of things, but my mind is a little different than probably what I say.
Yeah. I try not to like, even though I'm like proud of losing weight and stuff, like every time someone like comments on it, I'm kind of like, I was a great person before, so I don't know why. Like, I feel like a lot of times people put so much like emphasis on like, oh, she lost that much amount of weight, or they lost that much, and like it's a huge accomplishment, but it's also like, I don't really like when people are always saying like, oh, you must feel this way, or oh, you must feel better about yourself, or you must feel this, because it's like, you don't know what I feel. Right? Just my 2 cents on that. 16. What have you learned so far from all of this, if anything?
Well, one of the things that I learned, I mean, it's not like you're. One of the things I learned, I think, is just eating, for myself, which you don't push on me, but like I lost some weight kind of following what you were doing, which is good for me because I didn't usually have a weight problem getting, when I was younger. So as I got a little older, I got a little bit of a weight problem, but then I was able to control it. So
Yeah.
I learn every day.
Yeah. I think something, well, I don't want to speak for you, but something I've learned about all of this is, and like Dan went through this whole thing with me, is like, your doctors can tell you everything that they want you to be doing, but it's like kind of up to you to decide like what is best for yourself. And I only say that he went through that with me is because of like the whole me being pregnant when they did the surgery, and like us having to like be advocates for ourselves and say like that wasn't cool, and like be there for each other through all of that. And then having my surgeon like kind of brush me off because I wasn't like this star patient anymore because I was pregnant. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my other surgeon with the lap band, she wasn't great to me either. So it's kind of like you can have a great surgeon or not have a great surgeon, but like it's all on you what you decide to do. And the support system you have. 17. What would you say if someone came up to you and said they didn't think I should have gotten the surgery?
Then I definitely would have told him to mind the business.
Yeah.
I probably would say something else.
Yeah. He doesn't like when people get in other people's business. Number 18. Do you have any advice for fellow VSG/RNY husbands?
I don't know that you really can give advice other than just being supportive.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I hope that's not advice that they wouldn't already.
No.
No.
I think if you're not a supportive spouse, then with anything, then there's problems.
I'm not saying that.
I just think you need to be supportive.
Yeah.
What do you think about me making YouTube videos?
I think it's great.
Just don't ask you to be in it.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's uncomfortable for me a little bit, but for you, I mean, you enjoy it, and you have all these people that are supporting you, and I think it's a good support system, and it's all nice people. And
Mm-hmm. Here's a question for you. Have I ever complained about people saying mean things to me on YouTube?
No.
Have I ever complained about people saying mean things or being ridiculous on Facebook?
Yes.
Often.
Yeah. I think the only YouTube thing I remember was a long time ago, maybe when you first started doing it when I was around, and you said, "Why would they give me a thumbs down?"
I do hate that. I hate that.
What did I do for a thumbs down?
I still hate that. And it's not even like I care what, like, it's just like, why are you wasting your time? It just like bothers me. I do not like that. I bet you all get a thumbs down on this video too. Thumbs up. Okay, well, thank you for doing this with me.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, bye you guys.